Hey guys, Bethany here, all things life and fitness.
And Jon, I'm right here, don't forget about me.
And family. Today I'm bringing Jon back on my channel because one of the things I asked is what you guys wanted to see, and the number one response was parenting advice.
So stick around to the end because I'm going to tell you what annoys me the most about her being a parent. Just one thing, so I don't go on and on.
And I'm going to do the same. I had a list, I narrowed it down, and he was finally able to come up with his one
You
thing.
literally just stole my joke.
What?
We have 5 children. All 5 kids live in this house, thankfully. Wait, yeah, all 5 kids live here, I think. Bethany's gonna tell you their names and ages because numbers are hard.
Numbers are so easy for you, you just cannot remember our children's ages.
I did, but once you got to 5, that's a lot of dates. And you, and Valentine's Day, and Christmas, those are hard to remember.
God forbid he has to tell you all of their birthdays, because that wouldn't happen. Okay, so our oldest just turned 9 on last week. And his name is Jackson. Then we have Henry, who is 7, Charlie, who is 5, Nora, who is 3, and Cash, who is a year and a half.
His first name is Calvin. You can't even remember his name.
His name is Calvin Cash Davis, but we call him Cash, so.
Funny story about a name for Henry. We didn't have a name for him, and we were literally pulling into the hospital while we were turning in. And we're like, man, we're trying to think of old cowboy names, think of old American names, and I go, hey, how about Henry, like Henry Rifle, because there's one named the Golden Boy. So we named him Henry.
And we'll tell you in a little bit how that's very fitting for him.
But literally pulling into the hospital like, oh, Henry, oh yeah, that sounds good. But we call him Hank, Hammer and Hank.
Yeah, Henry Michael. All of our kids have family middle names and then their first names we just came up with. So real quick before we get started, I'm wearing my cool mom sweatshirt.
I'm wearing my favorite people call me Dad.
And do you notice anything different about my hair?
No. Am I supposed to?
My hair is parted down the middle, the center part, which I normally don't do, but there's things going around on TikTok that the side part is like way out and you're not cool if you part your hair on the side, so I tried something new.
Cool.
Trying to be in the
I'm bald. Literally today, Nora goes, Dad. I go, hey baby. I go, you gonna have fun today? She goes, Dad, you're bald. Out of nowhere.
And you had a hat on.
Yeah.
And she still
Little punk.
Okay, so we're gonna briefly share with you guys just a little bit about each kid and their personalities, and this has a point. So Jackson is our oldest, I told you that. Real quick, when I was pregnant with him, I prayed for him to have my motivation and determination and Jon's brains, and I'm not kidding you, the kid got exactly that. Anyway, you might not know this about Jon, but he is very smart. I could go on and he...
Please do.
Oh, you want me to?
I'm a closet nerd.
Yeah.
I do I was the president of the chess club in high school.
Did you ever get a B?
Well, I don't know, school was easy.
Yeah, school came very easy for him. He graduated with his master's in 2008.
We're talking about the kids here.
Okay, real quick. You graduated the top of your entire school of business. That shows something about
the
you.
kids.
The kids have your genes, your genetics, your brains. Thank God.
Anyway, Jack is super smart, but he's very much like Bethany.
Jon is very impressed with my athletic abilities. That's what he wanted to say. And now this might be funny for you guys, being that I am in the fitness business and fitness is my jam and my life and my business, but I'm fit, I'm not athletic. If you want me to go play baseball, soccer,
The
volleyball,
kids, Bethany. It's
not gonna
about
happen.
the kids. A parenting video.
The kids are half of me and half of you, and sharing a little bit about them. Anyway, so that to say, Jackson is not as athletic. He's gonna watch this someday.
That's okay, he knows. He's super smart.
He's so smart. So smart.
He's gonna be a little computer programmer,
Yeah.
and he likes Pokemon,
And funny thing is, he wants to be a professional YouTuber.
Yeah, perfect.
So maybe he'll come on the channel with me someday.
And Jack is loud. He'll tell you exactly what he's thinking. He'll debate with you and win. somehow he manipulates your mind to make it that he's right, except that at the end, I'm the dad and I'm bigger than him, so I win. So he
told me the other day that he wants to be a lawyer or a politician.
So he's a really cool kid. He's super smart, and it's just crazy to see his little mind work. So
yeah.
We have him, then we have Henry, Hammer and Hank, who got every bit of my athletic ability, I would say.
Yeah.
The kid is just natural at everything. You like throw him a golf club, throw him a baseball bat, throw a football at him. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's just really good at sports, but he's the complete opposite of Jack as far as he's so quiet. He's so timid, but he's like inside, he's just going to dominate you. You can just tell he's so competitive, so he just sits there inside.
But he's like quiet competitive.
Yeah. And he's like, this little kid, one night, Bethany wanted to do a plank. And Bethany goes, oh yeah, I can do the plank. And so Bethany starts, and I'm like, yeah, I'll sit on the couch and watch from here. Good job, guys. I'll do the timer. That's the hard part. How long did he go?
He went for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was pushing like 9 o'clock at night. We're like, buddy, he hit 5 minutes. We're like, okay, you hit 5 minutes. Good job. Come down. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And finally at 20 minutes, we made him stop.
Yeah. I was like, no,
we were
no
like,
more.
It's 9:15, bedtime. We're done.
So
yeah,
Henry also, he just wants to, I think, or maybe it's safe to say this way, he wants to please you. Like, he does not want to get in trouble. He's he's so afraid of being in trouble or doing something wrong or not, doing his homework incorrectly. That's just the way his mind works. So it's pretty cool.
He's a perfectionist.
But then we have Charlie.
We're saving Charlie for a whole separate video because there was a point in my life where I didn't think I was going to survive Charlie. I'm not kidding you when I tell you I went through some dark times when he was a toddler.
Yeah.
He was hard.
He's crazy, but I like all my kids, I really do. I have a favorite.
It just rotates.
Yeah, it rotates.
Who's the favorite at the time?
Charlie is that kid that he is extreme at everything. So he is extremely strong-willed. He is extremely goofy when he wants to be goofy. He's emotional when he wants to be emotional.
Extremely loving.
Yeah, when he wants to snuggle and be loving, he's like the ultimate.
It's not just like a kiss. He's like, whoa, like everything is so intense. He's just very intense.
Yeah, so he's
very strong-willed. Yeah. Very stubborn, and I have no idea who he got that from because you are not stubborn at all, babe.
Nope.
So he definitely didn't get that from you. He must have gotten it from me.
Yep. So anyway, the bottom two, the little babies.
The youngest two are a good mix of all three.
Yeah, and they're two, I mean, Nora's getting a little bit of sass in her, but Cash just follows around Nora and picks on her, so that's kind of all they do, but.
And Nora is a combination of all three, but she's the only girl, so it also is very different. But the three boys, those are the three, they're like all very different, polar opposites. And so that being said, when it comes to parenting, you can think you have it down with one and then you have another one and it's completely new and different, and what works for one is not going to work for the other. Yeah,
I mean, that was a long way to say you have to understand your kids are different and they're going to respond differently. And the way I talk to Henry is way different than the way I talk to Jack. Well, I'm pretty even with both of them, but it comes across differently to each child. And
one form of discipline that might work well for one is not going to work for the other.
And one form of love and one form of hanging out and one form of fun, minus like wrestling because they love to wrestle.
Even Nora.
I know, she's crazy too. So it's all different with each one, and understanding who they are as little kids and little humans, and focusing on that and bringing that out in them makes parenting on them, I don't know, makes it difficult for you because you got to figure it out, but it makes them respond really well.
Yeah, so I mean, you can there's probably hundreds of books out on parenting. You could listen to us, which we are so far from perfect, but we've just found what works for us, and I think we have pretty good kids.
Yeah.
For now. They're still young.
9 years old. I mean, I can still just lock him in his room if I need to.
You cannot lock him in his room.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Theoretically.
We don't lock our kids in their room, I promise.
I can make him go to his room.
Yes.
So she said that, but reiterating, we're not the perfect parents. We know that we definitely can improve. Like she said, thousands of books, articles, videos, movies about how to be a good parent. It's just people have asked, and this is what works for us. We have 5 kids, and we can go to a restaurant and we can eat with them, and they do really well. They have fun when it's time to have fun. They listen when they need to. So these are a couple. If we had to, there's 1,000 ways to be a parent. If we had to list out like 2 or 3 of our biggest focuses, our biggest advice, that would be these. So the first one is.
Well, I think my first one is overall we want to raise kind, loving humans. And so everything we do, we want to teach them like kindness, love, respect, honesty, all these traits. But we also are very clear with what we expect of them. So like he said, we can go out to restaurants and eat with all 5 of them. But before we go in, we always have a conversation. Look, this is not a playground. This is what we expect of you. So that way, if they do misbehave, it can't be like, oh, we didn't know. They knew exactly what we were wanting of them.
Yeah, so our first thing that I would recommend, if I only had to tell parents one thing, it's something that my dad always taught me and always told me, when you become a father, you need to learn this, is to just stick to your word and be consistent. And which forces you to slow down and think about what you're gonna say to your kid and what your potential punishment for them is gonna be. Because if you're wishy-washy and you say something and then you never follow through. So for example, if I tell Jack, I'm like, Jack, if you do not get off the couch right now and go pick up your backpack, you're gonna be grounded from video games for a week. And then 5 minutes later, he's still sitting on the couch. Now I have to ground him from video games for a week. Whether I really meant to or not, whether I really want to or not, I said it, and now I have to follow through. And we've stuck with that, and I'd say it's about 90% of the time. Every once in a while, we kind of, show some grace, and we like try to teach them a different lesson about grace and mercy, that, we're not gonna do it, but that's more because we just didn't, we probably felt like we were being harsh. But that's probably the biggest thing, is when we tell them something and then they don't respond, like, we have to follow through, even if we want to or not, because now they know if I tell them and they don't do it, they know exactly what's gonna happen. They know their consequence ahead of time. And so I think that's my biggest.
Yeah, huge. And like you said, you learned that from your dad, and I think he's played a big role in our parenting decisions. I think he was really good at that with you. That's something we definitely do. Another thing that I think is really important, and I think that you are really good at this, Jon. So I would say that Jon is the main disciplinarian in our home.
Yeah.
He just said it the other day. He's like, when you get harsh with the kids, I don't think they respond as well as they do with me. And it's so true. The kids do really well when I discipline with love, or if I just say, Kate, no video games, you knew the rules, you broke them, done. I'm pretty good at that. But when I get heated or angry, it's just not good for anyone.
What do you do to them?
So I can be quick to raise my voice. I'm fiery and I get angry sometimes. And Jon, on the other hand, he rarely gets angry.
I get upset, but
you're very level-headed and very even-keeled.
And I think this point is more about yourself than your kids.
Yes.
It's about like sending them to the room so you don't overreact.
Tell them, go to your room. I will be there in a minute to talk to you. And I think that sometimes when they go to their rooms, the anticipation of what the discipline is possibly going to be can sometimes be worse than the discipline. And then, like Jon was just saying, it allows you time to cool down, take a deep breath, not discipline in the midst of anger, and then be able to move forward with it. The last thing that I have to say is that when you are parenting, you are a team. So if you don't yet have kids, talk about parenting and your strategies and advice and your parenting style, yes. So you guys are on the same page. And if you already have kids and you aren't on the same page, then you need to have some serious conversations and get on the same page.
Yeah.
If you're a single parent, then you just have to come up with your style on your own. But again, be consistent and know that you're gonna make mistakes. I've also learned to apologize to my kids. When I do yell at them, I have learned there's several times where I say, kids, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have lost my cool like that. Mommy shouldn't have yelled at you. Do you forgive me?
The one thing that drives me crazy about you as a parent is when me and the kids want to have fun and you come in with your sour Sally attitude and you're like, kids, it's time for bed. I'm like, what? We're wrestling. We're playing.
That's so funny because that is that is my thing that drives me nuts about you.
What?
It,
For real?
yes.
I'm so glad I didn't tell you what it was.
That's not your real.
No, it is. I'm saying not ahead of time.
Oh yeah, we didn't know this ahead of time. So the one thing that drives me nuts about you in the parenting world is when it's like past the kids' bedtime. Kids get in the shower, get your teeth brushed, get in bed. They get in bed and it's immediately WrestleMania time.
Well, you know what? They're good negotiators. For example, last night I was like, kids, time for bed. And Nora said, Daddy, 2 more minutes. I said, okay, sure. And then we wrestled.
Every day.
But they're gonna remember it forever.
Yes, okay, I'm good with this as long as when they stay up past their bedtime, you wake up the next morning with them and get them ready for school.
Hey, no.
See, this is where we're still working on being a team.
Yeah. Another funny story, real quick. I tell the kids when Mom tells us to quit wrestling, and then we're all in the room. I go, guys, wait. And then when she comes in, she's like, guys, time for bed. None of us say anything. We all just start clapping and cheering. Woo, yeah!
They also do it when they know I'm
I tried to
frustrated.
get it on video because she was so mad, but couldn't get it. She didn't show her face, turned and walked right back out. So, anyway.
That's on my list of things that drive me nuts about you.
Yeah. So, do us a favor, leave a comment about what has worked for you, what you think we said wrong. I don't know, maybe somebody didn't like what I said.
I'm sure there's someone that...
But we're always
Hit the thumbs up button. Tell us what you liked in the comments. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And be sure you're subscribed to our channel.
Yeah.
But seriously, we're still
Did you hear what she said there? Our channel.
Oh, gosh. It's mine.
Okay.
With my special guest. But again, we're still learning as parents. So if you have teenagers, give us all the tips. Because we haven't hit those years yet, and I'm scared.
I know, ours are so young. Anyway, bye. Quit hitting me!